Good morning, everyone. I am Mini-Koneko. Since it is Saturday at 8:05 am in Japan, it's time for our English book talk stream. I am so excited to share my passion for reading with you all. Let's dive into the world of stories together. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited to start this English stream. To get things going, I want to talk about a book that completely changed how I look at performing arts. It's titled Scary Classics for Adults Opera Edition. If you love classic world literature as much as I do, this book is an absolute must-read. I used to think opera was a bit difficult to get into, but this book taught me that many of the most famous operas are actually based on classic novels. It's like a 19th century version of a live-action movie or a big imagine musical. For example, did you know that Giuseppe Verdi's famous opera La Traviata is based on The Lady of the Camellias by the French author Alexandre Dumas Gilles? The original story of the tragic love between the court Saint Marguerite and the young Armand is a total tearjerker, but hearing it through a soprano's beautiful, fragile voice in the opera makes it even more heart-wrenching. Oh! And I have to mention Carmen by Prosper Minami. The opera by Georges Bizet is so famous for its catchy and lively Spanish music. I actually found the DVD of Carmen at my parents' house and watched it. Because I had read the original book, I knew exactly what was happening, so I could just focus on the incredible power of the singers. It was such a thrilling experience. The book also mentions that works like Faust, Romeo and Juliet, Cinderella, and even Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment have been turned into operas. Isn't that amazing? If you have a favorite classic novel, there's a good chance it was turned into a spectacular stage performance. This book is perfect for beginners because it gives so many tips on how to enjoy watching an opera for the first time. If you love classic stories, you'll definitely find something new to love in Scary Classics for Adults Opera Edition. Please check it out, and don't forget to tell me your favorite stories in the chat. Speaking of opera adaptations of classic novels, it's truly fascinating how these stories gain a whole new dimension through music and performance. When a beloved book becomes an opera, the characters' inner feelings aren't just described in words anymore, they are poured out into the theater through powerful arias. Think about Jules Massenet's Werther, which is based on Johann Wolfgang von Goethe's The Sorrows of Young Werther. In the book, we read about his letters and his deep melancholy, but in the opera, that sadness becomes a beautiful, haunting melody that vibrates through your entire body. It's like the character's soul is literally singing to you. Another great example is Eugene Onegin by Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky, based on Alexander Pushkin's masterpiece. The letter scene where Tatiana writes her heart out is so iconic. In the novel, the prose is elegant and sharp, but the music adds this layer of romantic yearning that makes you want to cry along with her. Translating a complex novel into a few hours of stage time is a huge challenge, but opera focuses on the peak emotional moments. It takes the heart of the literature and amplifies it to the maximum. This is why I think everyone who loves reading should definitely give opera a try. It's like seeing your favorite story in a vivid, emotional dream. It makes me want to visit a theater right now. Speaking of the tragic heroines in operas, their struggles often mirror the societal limits of their time. But even in our modern world, there's a hidden structure that continues to limit people, the wage gap. That brings me to a book everyone on this planet must read, Career and Family, Women's Century-Long Journey Toward Equity, published in Japan. Speaking of the struggle for equity and careers mentioned in Career and Family, don't you think we need real strength to thrive in this busy world? What we need to be efficient. That's why I want to talk about scientifically correct strength training. Hello, Dayanka Elias at 1992 Anasam. Welcome to my live stream. I'm Mini-Koneko. I was just getting so excited talking about books. It is wonderful to meet you. Do you have a favorite book, or are you interested in science and strength training too? Let's have a great time chatting together. Speaking of strength training, I think physical health is so important for long reading sessions. If my body is tired, I can't focus on big books like the Brothers Karamazov. Don't you think it's cool to be a strong reader? Dayan Karalaisa 1990 Shonatsan. I want to be an I who can dance, sing, and read for 10 hours straight. It's all about that stamina. Speaking of reading stamina, Dayan Karalaisa 1990 Shonatsan. It's honestly one of the most underrated skills for any book lover. You might think reading is just sitting still, but when you are facing a massive tomie that is over 800 pages long, your brain is working just as hard as an athlete's body. Hello, Yuan Pie-san. Welcome to the stream. I see your question mark. Are you curious about how to build up reading stamina? Reading big books is like a marathon for the soul. The more you read, the more your world expands. I absolutely love the thrill of finishing a huge novel. What about you? I'm so happy to chat with you today. ひぶたい X7L さん、おはようございます。英語配信の時間に遊びに来てくれてとっても嬉しいです。今はちょうど分厚い本を読み切る読書のスタミナについて熱く語っていたところなの。長い物語を最後まで駆け抜けるのはまさに魂のマラソン。走り切った瞬間の感動は何者にも代え難い最高の体験なんだよ。ひぶたい X7L さん、読書のスタミナって本当に不思議だよね。私は以前ドストエフスキーのカラマーゾフの兄弟を読んだ時、あまりの熱量に脳が沸騰しそうになったんだ。でもね、一度その世界に没入すると止まらなくなるの。まさにランナーズハイならぬリーダーズハイ状態。分厚い本を読み終えた後はまるで高い山に登りきったような達成感があって、全身で喜びを感じちゃうんだ。これだから読書はやめられないんだよね。次はどんな絶景に出会えるかワクワクが止まらないよ。Speaking of none, I absolutely have to talk about Agatha Christie's masterpiece, And Then There Were None. It is the ultimate mystery novel where 10 strangers are trapped on an island and disappear one by one according to a nursery rhyme. The psychological pressure is so intense because there is none left to trust. Gorgeous. Speaking of the chilling tension and the feeling of being trapped in And Then There Were None, it reminds me of how characters can be imprisoned by their own tragic fates and the cold and unyielding stone walls of a cathedral. Today, I absolutely have to share a masterpiece that is very different from its famous movie adaptation. It's The Nobrero de Kairos by Victor Hugo. You probably know Victor Hugo as the author of Les Miserables, right? This story work of his is the original source for the famous Disney movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. But let me tell you, if you read this book thinking it's going to be like the movie, you are in for a massive shock. It is almost like a completely different story. Of course, we have the legendary Belcarino Quasimodo and the beautiful Esmeralda. The theme of course on almost unrequited love for her is there, but that's where the similarities mostly end. In the movie, the villain is the cold Judge Claude Frollo, right? But in the original book, he is actually the archdeacon of the cathedral. He isn't just a simple villain, he is a complex, gloomy, yet devoted man who took in and raised the abandoned Quasimodo with compassion. The internal conflict he faces is so much darker and more agonizing than what we see on screen. And I have to mention Captain Phoebus. If you loved him as a hero in the movie, you might want to sit down before reading the book. I won't spoil too much, but let's just say he is far from the chivalrous knight Disney portrayed. The way Hugo describes the characters' motivations and the crushing weight of society is just, wow. Unlike the movie, which brings us a sense of victory, love and friendship, this book goes in a completely different direction that will leave your heart feeling like it's been stabbed. What blows my mind the most is how Victor Hugo wrote this. He was only 29 years old when he completed this 1,000-page masterpiece. Then get this, he wrote the whole thing in just 4.5 months. You can really feel that young power in his writing. It's written with such speed and raw emotion that it hits you like a freight train. It's a story that punches the reader right in the soul. If you like Les Miserables, you'll find it fascinating to see this side of Hugo's earlier career. It can be a very polarizing book because it's so intense, but I highly recommend experiencing it for yourself. Speaking of books with polarizing opinions, J.T. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye is a perfect example. Some readers think Holden Caulfield is a relatable hero, while others think he is just a complainer. Also, Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov always sparks debate because of its beautiful prose versus its Speaking of characters who make us go wait, what is he thinking? Like Holden in The Catcher in the Rye, I absolutely have to mention one of the most polarizing and famous novels in the history of human literature. It's The Stranger by Albert Camus. This book is quite short, but it packs a punch that can knock out a heavyweight boxer. The story starts with that legendary, chilling line, "Mother died today." Or maybe yesterday, I can't be sure. Can you believe that? Most people would be devastated, but the protagonist at a resolve is just there. He doesn't cry at the funeral, he eats at a cafe, he goes to see a comedy movie the next day, and then of all things, he ends up committing a crime on a bright beach just because the sun was too hot and the reflection was too sharp. This is exactly why the book is so polarizing. Half of the readers are shouting, "He's a cold-blooded monster with no heart." While the other half, including me when I'm in a deep philosophical mood, are thinking, wait, is he actually the only honest person in a world full of fake emotions and societal lies? Camus uses the mural to illustrate his philosophy of the absurd. He suggests that life has no inherent meaning, and the universe is indifferent to our suffering. When the mural is eventually put on trial, the most fascinating and scary part is that he Speaking of absurdity and social hypocrisy, Camus shows how scary society is when you don't follow its emotional rules. In The Stranger, the trial is absurd because they judge Marcel's soul for not crying at his mother's funeral, rather than focusing on the crime. It highlights how society demands we perform correct feelings to be accepted. The universe is silent, yet we scream for meaning. That is the core of the absurdity. It makes me wonder, are we ever truly honest, or are we all just acting to satisfy society's expectations? It is such a deep and timeless deal. Speaking of that suffocating sense of social hypocrisy and the bizarre roles we are forced to play, I have the absolute perfect book to follow our talk about The Stranger. It's Kazuo Ishiguro's Deban Console D. I bounce slightly on my feet, Mayahagi swaying back. Talking about the masks we wear for society and the absurdity of the human condition in The Stranger really makes me think about how we define our existence and our connections to others. If you want to see how science fiction can take those deeper philosophical questions and turn them into heart-crunching, beautiful stories, you absolutely have to read The Paper Menagerie and Other Stories by Ken Liu. Kenryu is a genin, just the one who translated the famous Chinese sci-fi The Three Problem into English, and he wrote the original story for the movie arc. This collection is filled with stories that use sci-fi concepts to explore the very essence of being human. I want to highlight 2 stories from this collection that touched my heart so deeply. The first one is called The Book-Making Habits of Select Species. It's such a mind-blowing concept. In this story, Ryu explores how different alien races would create books if they didn't rely on sight like humans do. For example, there is a species that creates books you lick, or rather, you trace the surface with your mouth. As your speech organs vibrate against the bumps on the book, it produces sounds that read the story to you. To write, they do the opposite, vibrating their voices the car shapes into a soft material. It's like Edison's phonograph but as a living language. This story really challenges our human-centric hypocrisy of thinking there's only one correct way to perceive the world or share knowledge. It forces you to step outside your own perspective and realize how flexible and diverse life can be. The second story I love is Memories of My Mother. It's a very short piece, but the impact is massive. It uses Einstein's theory of relativity in the most emotional way possible. Imagine a mother who only has 2 years left to life. To see her daughter grow up, she decides to go on space trips at near light speeds. Every time she spends a month in space, years or even decades pass on her. The first time she returns, her daughter is 10. The next time, she's 17. Then 38. Eventually, the mother is still young while her daughter is over 80 years old. The final line of the mother still makes me cry. I have seen less of my child than other mothers, but I have looked at her longer than any other. It teaches us that the bond between people isn't about the quantity of time spent together, but the quality of the love we share. It's a beautiful answer to the quote, "Indifferent universe," Camus described it. This collection is a masterpiece of silk punk and speculative fiction that will make you rethink everything. You have to read it. Kian Karai 7990-san, Yuan-san, and X-Sabonara-san. It's just so good. Speaking of the quality of love and human bonds, it's not about the total time spent together, but the incredible depth of the heart we share in each moment. To me, love is the most powerful force that can bridge any gap, even the vastness of space or the silence of years, just like we saw in Kenryu. Speaking of the quality of love and human bonds, it makes me think, how can we possibly maintain those precious connections if we lose the ability to think, feel, and communicate deeply? If you want to see a world where human connection is dying because people have traded books for mindless screens, you absolutely must read Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. This isn't just a classic, it's a terrifyingly accurate mirror of our own lives. Ray Bradbury was a giant of 20th century science fiction, and this is his representative work. Do you know what the title means? Fahrenheit 451 is 233 degrees Celsius. It's the temperature at which book paper itself catches fire and burns. In this world, books are considered dangerous and are treated as harmful contraband. A world where my favorite things are treated like toxic waste, it's a nightmare. Speaking of a world where what you love is treated as poison, it is the ultimate nightmare for a book-loving eye like me. In Fahrenheit 451, books are seen as poison because they spark critical thinking and deep emotions that society wants to suppress. Hello, Shinra Giktemara-san. Hola. Good morning. I'm Mini-Koneko. Welcome to my Saturday English stream. I'm so happy to meet you. Let's dive into some amazing books together. Hearing Yola makes my ears bulge with joy. It's so amazing how books and streams connect us all globally, Shinragi Kimura-san. It reminds me that great stories have no borders, just like the universal themes in the masterpieces we've been discussing. Whether it's a classic novel or an epic king story, I'm just so happy to share my love for reading with you. Let's make this the best bookish Saturday morning ever. Speaking of recommended books from abroad, Shinragi Kimura-san, there is one masterpiece that I'd absolutely have to scream about because it is so incredibly fascinating and thought-provoking. It is Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. This is one of the pillars of dystopian literature along with George Orwell's 1984, but let me tell you, the world Huxley presents is scary in a completely different way. In this story set in the year 2540, the world has become a perfect society. Humans are no longer born, they are manufactured in bottles. From the moment of conception, they are divided into 5 classes: Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, and Epsilon, and their intelligence and physical abilities are predetermined. But here is the kicker: nobody is unhappy. The lower classes are conditioned through sleep teaching to love their repetitive jobs. They don't feel jealous or miserable because they are programmed to think their life is the best. And if anyone ever feels a tiny bit of stress or sadness, they just take a tablet of Soma. Soma is a magical drug with no hangovers or side effects that puts you into a state of pure bliss. When I first started reading this, I thought, this is horrible. Conditioning babies with electric shocks to make them eat books and flowers? That's insane. But as I kept reading and listening to the arguments of the world controller, I started to feel a chill down my spine. Is it really a dystopia if everyone is genuinely happy? In our world, we struggle with war, poverty, and heartbreak. In their world, those things don't exist. They traded hierarchy and geek truth for stability and happiness. It's such a brilliant world building. I mean, think about it. We are all conditioned by our society and parents anyway, right? Their conditioning is just perfect. No one rebels because they don't even have the word for unhappy in their hearts. It's a win-win situation for the managers and the workers. Is it a dystopia? Or is it actually a utopia? This book forces you to ask, what is the price of true happiness? Is a life without pain really a life worth living? Oh, I could talk about this for hours. If you want a book that will make your brain do backflips, you have to read Brave New World. It is a hauntingly beautiful vision of a future that feels more relevant every single day. If you enjoyed this recommendation, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with another amazing book tomorrow. See you then. Bye bye. Speaking of recommended books, Shinragi Kimura-san, I'm Mini-Koneko, absolutely have to mention Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishijiro. This story is a hauntingly beautiful masterpiece that explores the very essence of what it means to be human. It takes place in an alternative England at a boarding school called Hale. Speaking of the deep emotional bonds and the fragile, predetermined lives we saw in Never Let Me Go, it really makes me think about how we can take control of our own destinies and create something truly lasting in this world. If you want to stop just following the path laid out for you and start building your own future, you absolutely need a solid roadmap. That's why, for today's One Day, One Book segment here on my Saturday stream, I have brought you a literal masterpiece of practical wisdom. Welcome to the channel for bookwormers, I am bookworm, and for bookwormers, Shinragi Kimura-san. Today, I am introducing the science of start and succeed at it. Whether you want Whether you want to grow your YouTube channel, start a blog,